on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people want to show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow.
You gon' know my hunger, you gon' know my name. Never did I make it, oh boy, I was a lame. I'm telling y'all stories so y'all can know my pain. And I'ma need a straight jack, I'm finna go insane. Like every day I stayed up, trying to be the best out. Looking at me downfield, trying to run the best route. But you know these corners, man, had to put a curl in. All I do is fail, and I'm looking for my first win. Always fucking broke, I just wish that I can touch green. Trying to lead the hood, cause you know that I can do without. Gotta put my family on, you know that I can't do without. Can't stop, won't stop, baby, that's what this all about, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people wanna show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
Can't stop, won't stop, gotta keep going. These niggas sleeping on me, so let them keep snoring. The best rap alive, and I gotta keep flowing. I'm pulling up like step, man, I gotta keep scoring. And losing not an option, I learned to be a better me. Best rap alive, and y'all others just a letter B. You trying to ride my wave, and these niggas trying to copy me. Wanted that alive, then you know these rappers dead to me. Second place, nigga, that's the best that they can ever be. Can't stop, won't stop, boy, you know I'm the recipe. Running the game for too long, think that I can give it up. Told y'all what a life I'm living, you know I had to live it up, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people wanna show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
What is going on, y'all, man? Welcome to the Nashville Caveman Show. I want to apologize for that interruption. Let me tell y'all what happened. So I'm looking up, I'm on my board, and I'm looking up and I see the title, okay? So this morning, I had this amazing interview with Tennessee's own Big Boss. So, you know, for that, we started, instead of it being on the Nashville Caveman podcast, I decided to name the artist part of the interviews the So Driven Artist View. And so that title is still up, and I thought I had changed it. Maybe I didn't save it, and I looked up and I said, oh snap, it still says the So Driven Artist View. So I tried to change it in the middle of that video, and so it was like, rah, 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 sound like Max Headroom. So that's on me, y'all, man, I apologize. But I love that song and I love that interview. And Alabama, man, y'all represent real well. So.
Yep, shouts out to Havoc. I'm playing his music now on the B Bling radio show, and I'm pretty sure Michael Anderson is probably spinning it on the Hard Hitter radio too. So, you know, shouts out to Havoc.
Man, thank you guys for tuning in today. Man, it's a chilly day here in Nashville.
Yes,
Our weather is so bipolar.
Yep. You don't know how to dress.
Flip-flops, you know what I'm saying? The fur coat up here, you know, man, the ball cap, you know, some long johns. You don't know what to wear. We kind of dressing for both kind of weathers right now, aren't we?
Man, it's 50 during the day and 32 at night. So, that's crazy.
21 first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you got to get up early this morning, I'll guarantee you it's like 21 degrees.
Oh yeah, like 8 in the morning or something. Yes, you're right. It's freezing.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this: when you older, and that chill hit your bones when you in your 40s and stuff, it's totally different than when you in your 20s and 30s. When you get in your 40s and older, and that chill hit your bones, man.
It is a difference. When we were younger and we had to stand outside on the school bus, we all looked like penguins because we would all huddle together.
Man,
like you said, without that, everybody got on their big starter coats and we all huddling together waiting for that school bus. But now ain't nobody to huddle with. So when you open up that door and that hawk hits you, you gonna know it's there.
Well, shoot, Sky, at least y'all got to huddle for a school bus. Imagine being in Ohio and you had to walk to school. We had to walk 20, 25, 30 minutes to school in the snow. And I think I talked about this before. They would shovel all the snow that was in the street to the side, which was the sidewalks. Right. So then we walk in the high stepping in this snow. By the time we get to school, our socks and shoes is soaked. Yeah. And it take half the day to heat the school up. So you freezing in school on top of it.
I mean, what about your backpacks and stuff? How did y'all keep that stuff from getting wet on the inside?
We had to have it on all them books. Remember, man, they tortured us. You bringing back some bad memories. Remember them big ass books that we had, the science books and the math books? Yeah. So you would have about 4 or 5 of them in your backpack and you carrying those over your back.
Oh yeah, it felt like boot camp, yep. And every year, my mom had to buy me a new backpack because those books were so heavy, they would rip the shoulder parts every year.
Yeah. You know, and you think about it now. All of us now got back problems.
Yep.
That stuff started when we was young.
Yep. And you're right. I don't know. I mean, we down here in Tennessee back then complained a little bit, but folks from Ohio to New York, y'all were real soldiers. Because up in those areas, they don't close school because of Michigan and all that. They don't close schools because of snow. They don't. Even if you got to shovel a tunnel from your front door to your car, you was going to school.
Man,
to me, that don't make sense. I know education is important, but you're out here killing folks. But back in the day, we didn't have internet back then. So I'm pretty sure if y'all probably would have had internet back then, you probably wouldn't have had to go through most of that stuff.
No, we would have, because let me tell you the dumb stuff that our superintendent said, and I BS you not. He said if his dog can go out and use the bathroom, then we can go to school. Think about that comment. That dog got fur. I ain't got no fur on me. You know what I'm saying? That dog going out there 5-10 minutes and he probably pee real quick and run back in the house. To him it's fun. Ain't no fun to walk into school 25 minutes and then y'all heaters don't work and then we soak. And it wasn't just our shoes because the snow was so high for where they shoveled it off. That was halfway up to our calf. Man, we had to dress like we was Eskimos.
That's right. But then, back in the day when you were younger and you talking about this, that superintendent would probably tell you an even worse story when he was younger.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Somebody probably did him wrong. So when he got
that's what I'm saying. So it just has snowballed down. Now in 2023, I don't know what the school systems are like up there now. I don't know if they still force these kids to go to school in 12 inches of snow and stuff like that. But back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, there was no such thing as closing school because of snow.
Man, we had school buses, but there weren't a lot of kids that rode the school buses. Right. If you were in walking distance, it's the same here. Now, here, if you maybe 10, 15 minutes in walking distance, you would do it. But back then, we had a lot of patrol guards. So the kids will be the patrol guard that will kind of assist. It'd be the older kids in elementary, maybe the 5th, 6th graders that would assist. They would assist the younger kids to walk home, right? So the younger kids that was like first grade, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, man, they still walk 20 minutes. There was an adult maybe out there every other couple blocks to kind of help with that. But for the most part, man, it was like 5th and 6th graders that was crossing us across them streets. And it wasn't no buses. You guys had the luxury, like my daughters, man, they ride buses.
Yeah, we have
They
buses.
don't know what it's like.
And down here, if they even talked about snow, they closed school.
Oh, yeah.
Grocery stores would be empty, and it might not even snow. If the thought of snow was coming, they closed down schools.
Well,
and then if snow actually hit, then the schools would close for 2-3 days. See what I'm saying? So down here, we did have it much easier than most folks that live further up.
And it makes sense too, Sky, because you really think about it, they don't have the equipment. They don't have the equipment here. So the one thing that a lot of Southerners don't know about the North is when they salt the road, they're doing it while people are asleep, first and foremost. And they're doing it repetitiously. So they're doing it over and over. So by the time, if you work at 5 or 6, unless the snow is accumulating so fast that it's hard for them to keep up, by the time we get up, it's slush. On the main and side roads, it's slush. You know? And the only thing that we have to worry about is taking about a good 10, 15 minutes to get it off our cars.
Right.
Because you'll have 2 inches easily on your car.
That's true. That is true. But up there, I remember I was watching a video of kids trying to walk to school, and this wind blew this child from one side of the street to the other. I mean, you should have seen it. It was like somebody pushed her. That's how strong that wind came through, and she was walking on snow and ice, and she slid all the way to the other side of the street.
Yeah,
like
that's what we had to deal with. That's real. What you just said. That's what we grew up with.
So, you know, when I talk to people, especially my age or older, I just listen to them because I know I had it much better than a lot of the folks that lived up there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing for me to say because we didn't. I mean, back in the days, we had some white Christmases, but now we really don't.
Yeah.
We really don't. You've been down here long enough. You know how Tennessee is. You know, we at that time where it's 21 below. They talking about snow. They talking about freezing. Guess what? Your kids older now, but back in the day, they wouldn't have school. You know, you be like, ain't nothing out here compared to when you was a child. Remember?
And you know what? And I understand why they made us go to school. I'm gonna tell you why they made us go to school.
What's up, Jasmine? Go ahead.
Because had they called out school, guess what we would have been doing?
What's that?
Sled riding. They know we would have been sled riding.
But that's what it's there for, to have fun. I mean, y'all was able to build snowmen, sled ride, build tunnels. We didn't. At the end of the 90s, I can't remember the last time I built a snowman. It was probably like 94, 95. But we had so much snow, we could actually build a snowman. In the late 90s, early 2000s, we weren't getting snow like that. We weren't even getting snow on Christmas. Like even January, February, we would get some snow and some black ice. But people weren't building snowmen like that. Unless you lived in the mountains somewhere in Tennessee, like in the plateaus maybe. But down here, no.
And you know, Tennessee, this is the crazy experience. I remember one year, and I can't remember the year, that we had a Christmas and it was 75 degrees.
Yes.
On the Christmas.
Yes.
And I said, this is happening.
I was still in Murfreesboro, I think, when that happened. So that had to be over like 7-8 years ago. Yeah. Sure deal. Maybe longer. Maybe I was in Nashville. But yeah, I remember getting out. I was in Murfreesboro. I was going to MTSU. I remember getting up and I was seeing these white girls on Christmas Day walking with shorts on as if it was summertime. Yeah, it was 75 degrees. Yes.
Man, I take that. Give me that. The frostbitten fingers, man. You know, where that windshield is so cold. And we had to walk to school in this. If the windshield was like, as long as it wasn't -10 or like dangerous, when it was, when it was low, we had to walk to school.
Yeah.
So we had the snow and the windshield we had to contend with. Imagine the Chicago kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. I praise all of y'all up there. The Illinois, the Michigan, the Ohio's, the Pennsylvanias, the New York, the Connecticut's, Rhode Island, all them people, Jersey, all them folks, when wintertime comes, y'all are the true winner. Now out west, Nevada, Colorado, I don't know how they winters are. California, I don't know. But down here and up there, because I have family that used to live in Michigan. So I used to hear stories about how it was going up there, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all some troopers.
Man, so I can't even complain about this 21 degrees that it was. Actually, it was like 27. I can't complain about, but I know I want to talk about some football, man. How did your team do this? Because I didn't see the overall slate.
We didn't do good. We lost to the Lions. So shouts out to them. We had won like 5 games in a row. Now we've lost the last 2. Now we 7-7. We're still in the playoff hunt, but I don't see us really going. We might not. We're fighting for that last wild card, but each Sunday you don't know which Denver Bronco is going to show up. Which Denver Bronco team is going to show up. So, And then with the Raiders, the one they're 7-7. Then you got Cleveland, I think, is 7-7. The Bengals.
No, they 9-5. Don't put no 7-7 on our names. We 9-5, buddy.
You got 85. Steelers might be 7-7. So it's a lot of teams fighting for that last wild card spot. And so them was in control, but now they just let it go.
Yeah.
And Detroit is a good team. There are a lot of people sleeping on Detroit, but Detroit is a good, solid football team. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
I think they got a chance to win.
3 games left.
I do think Detroit could win it all, but I think it's going to depend on this. As long as they don't have to go out in the cold, because them Lions, they play in the dump.
Right.
I'm telling you, man. I remember in Little League, when it's cold and you get hit hard, it's a whole different vibration. It feels like your soul leave your body. Because it's hard enough to think anyway. You don't never want to come to the sidelines when it's cold.
Right.
Because, at least in pros, they have heaters. But it's only so much a heater can do. When you out in the elements, and they got to go to Philadelphia.
That's right. And so that's why in the NFC, it's going to be real, to me, who's going to make it, because I don't think Green Bay is going to the playoffs, right? So Green Bay is Green Bay might be the only team that's still outside. And if I'm wrong, tell me. I can't think of another team that does not have a dome.
Minnesota.
The Giants might be still outside, but they ain't going to the playoffs. Green Bay is outside; they're not going to the playoffs. Right. So a lot of these playoff teams are going to be dome or inside teams, right?
Right.
So like you said, if you a dome team and you got to go to the Green Bay Packers, then you might be out of luck. But now, since Green Bay and New York and whoever, all these other outside teams don't have Soldier Field might still be an outside team.
Yeah.
If you don't have to travel to those places, then yeah. And one thing about Detroit, they have a good, solid running game. To get to the Super Bowl, you're going to have a good, solid run game. I think what happened was Tom Brady has just spoiled everybody because 95% of his offense was throwing. Right. And he was able to win all these Super Bowls like that. But other teams, if it's 3rd and 2 and you cannot hand that ball off to that halfback and get 2 yards, and you ain't going no damn well. You can't keep throwing on 3rd and 2. You have to be able to push those guys off of their marks, create a hole for your running back to run through. Because if you don't, you won't keep the defense honest.
And you know what, Sky? When you come to think about it, outside of San Francisco, who has been consistent, all right?
Right.
The Eagles look like they're, falling apart right now. Dallas, inconsistency. They look good. They get on the road and they, you don't see that same Dallas team when they on the road. Buffalo punched them in the mouth.
They finally played a good team.
Yeah. And so when you really think about it, it's not far-fetched to feel like the Detroit Lions could make the Super Bowl this year. They've never been.
Thank you. If the ball bounces their way, because even in the playoffs, you got to have luck. Even in the playoffs, you still got to have a little luck. I don't care how much talent you got. Sometimes that ball has to bounce your way, or referee call has to go your way. And I can see Detroit being in the Super Bowl because they have a good passing game, they have a good running game, and when you can run, a couple of things happen. One, they got to bring another man in that box. So instead of having 7, they got 8. Two,
Right.
your defensive backs get tired of tackling these running backs because the linebacker's job is to tackle the running backs. But if he's coming past the running backs and your DBs are making all these tackles, okay, now they're getting tired. So here comes the play action because they're thinking here comes a run. So they try to get to this running back. The wide receiver does a double, and then you going down the field. So that's
Right.
what a real good running game does. But if you are throwing 80% of the time in these playoffs, I just don't see you making it.
And then we go over to the AFC, right? Look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs look very beatable this year, don't they? They look like them wide receivers are trash.
And you know what? And that's another thing about Tom Brady. He could take any wide receiver and make them look good. Some of those Super Bowl runs, he didn't have a Randy Moss, right?
Right.
One thing about Patrick Mahomes, he is everything like, okay, so take all the running quarterbacks, right? You have the Jalen Hurts, the Lamar Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else is a good running quarterback? Maybe Deshaun Watson.
Josh Allen.
Thank you. What they can do is they can run and then throw, right? And then you have good throwing quarterbacks, right? They can throw but not run. Patrick Mahomes has all those tangibles. Do you hear me? He can run, he can throw, he can scramble, and he can create plays. That's why they're always my favorite. Until somebody puts them out, they're always my favorite to win the Super Bowl is because they have a quarterback. If you need him to throw it 20 yards down the field to get a first down, he can do it. If you need him to run 15 yards to pick up that first down, he can do it. If that offensive line breaks down, he can scramble long enough for that receiver. And a lot of these quarterbacks can't do it.
Right. And I tell you what, man, a lot of teams like Denver, you guys are only one game out of it. Cincinnati, from what I've seen right now, they have the 7th seed. And they're 8-6.
Right.
So how it is you got the 4 division leaders.
Right.
Miami, Baltimore, Kansas City, and
Right.
Jacksonville. Right?
Right.
Woo! Jacksonville lost to Baltimore. So if Jacksonville loses again and Indy or Houston win, guess what? Indy or Houston can grab that that seed.
That's
so
right.
That's first and foremost. So you got that. Then you got Cleveland that is at 9-5. It's somebody else. I'm missing somebody. It may I know it may be Buffalo and Cincinnati. So I think that's how it is.
Right.
And anything can happen. That Cincinnati, they 8-6, like you said. Denver is 7-7. The Steelers are 7-7. There's somebody, I think 1 or 2 more teams that's 7-7. So it's up for grabs. This will be a real fun playoffs.
It is. You're not going to have like that true powerhouse, but until somebody puts out Kansas City, let me tell you what's wrong with Kansas City. They run defense is terrible. You can run on Kansas City. You might can't throw, but you can run on Kansas City. So if you're going to beat Kansas City, you better have a run game that's going to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. If you're going to beat Kansas City, you better score touchdowns instead of field goals because Kansas City offense is so explosive that even if they're down by 21 points, and I've seen this happen, they can come back and beat you 24-21.
Right.
And that's what's wrong with the Eagles. The Eagles get down by 21 points. Game is over because it takes them 20 plays to score. Right. So if you get the Eagles down by 14-21, game is over.
Right. And I think that's why I think they're on a 3-game losing streak right now.
Yeah, because they realize that. And then they realize if they take away the running game from the running back of Jalen Hurts, he is not that quarterback that's going to step back, 3-step, 5-step drop, and throw it 15, 20 yards down the field. It's just not him. Lamar Jackson can't do it. Not even Tua. I watched Tua. Tua can throw the ball downfield, but I'm talking about an accurate pass, 20 to 15 yards downfield for that first down. I've never seen them guys do. They just can't. They can throw you 10, 5, or if you just need to throw it straight down the field to Tyreek Hill, can do that. But when you put them in a situation where they have to make that throw to win the game, I've never seen them do it. But I've seen Patrick Mahomes do it.
Speaking of Tyreek Hill, now he was close to 2,000 yards.
Yeah, he didn't play Sunday. I don't know if he was hurt or what.
Yeah, he got hurt, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he didn't play, to be honest with you.
Man, I need to look that up. But I'm interested, man. That's a record. That's a phenomenal record. If he reached 2,000 yards receiving in 1 year, you almost have to give him the MVP. But right now, who would you say is deserving of the MVP right now?
Oh, he is right now. I'm tired of them giving it to the quarterbacks. This league is a quarterback-driven league. I'm so tired of quarterbacks winning everything. I don't know what to say. But who has the record for the most? I know Eric Dickerson has the record for the rushing, 2,100. Who has the most receiving yards? Is that Jerry Rice or is that somebody else?
I'm about to look it up right now.
But I'm just tired of seeing quarterbacks win everything. Don't get me wrong, your quarterback is important, but they got to win all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see Tyreek Hill win it. You know, even whether they go to the Super Bowl or not, win it. You know, because none of these quarterbacks to me are having an outstanding year. They're really not. Nobody's just like, oh my God, he's going to do 50 touchdowns this year. No, but Tyreek. Okay.
The current record in receiving yards was set by Calvin Johnson during the 2012 season. It was 1,964 yards.
Woo!
That is crazy, man.
That is.
So let me see where Tyreek Hill is right now. Let me see. I'm Googling this, y'all. Give me a minute. I just got to see this because I know he was close. And for him, you got to remember, Megatron, remember how big he was.
Yeah.
He was like not just big, but, man, speed. One of the best set of hands that probably ever touched the NFL football.
Anquan Bolden, he reminded me of Anquan Bolden. That's who he reminded me of. The way he played and the size. And see, with somebody like him, if you in trouble, you just throw the ball up because it's 6'4", he just out jumped the DB. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made him so popular and so dangerous.
All right, so I'm looking at Tyreek Hill, right? Mm-hmm. In 2023, he is at 1,542 yards, which I don't know if you,
3 games left.
3 games left, and he missed one. So I definitely think he was on track to get it, but missing that one may cost him, a chance of getting that record.
Tyreek Hill is in phenomenal shape, but it's still the human body. 18 weeks of doing that, plus practice, plus traveling, plus hotels, will catch up to anybody. I don't care what type of shape you think you in. Trying to get 2,000 yards receiving when first of all, they're going to double team you. They're going to pressure you. You know what I'm saying? And to do that play after play after play, that puts a ton of hurting and pressure on your body. So hell, he might have been having knee problems for all we know. Ankle problems, all that stuff. Because there's a difference between walking in shoes and running in shoes and cleats. You played football before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how it feels to be in them cleats. This is a whole different subject.
And them hard, and you think a lot of them play on turf.
Yeah.
So imagine that running on that on hard concrete almost. Woo.
So yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I say he didn't play this weekend, but I wish him the best of luck. I hope he can do it because I'm always a fan of success.
Right.
I'm always a fan of success. So I would love to see him get to 19 or 2,000.
Man, I just want the regular season to hurry up and end as a Browns fan because, man, we got 20 million of our payroll sitting on the IR. I can't remember a team. They are down to their third string tackles, third string guards, second string. Their line is decimated with injury, right?
But Myles Garrett came back, right? He played.
He came back, but they lost 2 linemen. Out of nowhere, we lost a defensive tackle. We lost a pass rusher.
Right.
We lost a safety.
Right.
These guys out for the year. Now the safety could come back in time for the playoffs. But the other guys, man, is, tackles, both starting tackles,
right,
gone for the rest of the year. I don't even know how Kevin Stefanski, how he don't end up with Coach of the Year. When you on your fourth or fifth quarterback, think about it.
What did we say at the beginning? To win a Super Bowl, you got to have some luck too.
You gotta have some luck.
And the NFL knew when they added this extra week, injuries was going to go from 20% to 25%. It's just what it is. You can't add an extra week of football and then expect injuries to go down. That don't even make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, you asking people to play 17 games back to you plus your bye week, but anyway, 17 games. Somebody's gonna get hurt, and you don't even have to get tackled to get hurt. You could be doing the stuff that you've been doing all the time and get injured.
A lot of them injuries come from blocking, and somebody just, they blocking the man in front of them, and all of a sudden somebody fall into their ankle or they get rolled up, and that's it.
That's it. That is absolutely it. The things you've been doing, I've seen a quarterback go back, throw a pass, and tear his rotator cuff on the same throw he's been doing 1,000 times. But the human body is fickle. You know what I'm saying? That 1,001 time you did it, they say, you know what, I'm done.
And it's a very violent sport, man.
Yes, it is. It is. And then you got to add that on top of it, too.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. That's why a lot of people don't go back to back. So, first of all, once you win a Super Bowl, those with the rings, they go out for the money. So, you lose them in free agency. So, and then you get bad draft picks because you won the Super Bowl. So, you get the last picks in the draft. And then you got to ask the people who stayed to stay healthy. And it's just unattainable sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, but hey, Sky, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and play a song right quick. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into this. The topic of the day is, what are the pros and cons to the internet?
Okay.
So that's what we're going to talk about. Man, y'all stay tuned with us. This artist is Shar Christine. So.
I'ma hold you down. I got you. It's got a bitch, yeah. It's got a bitch, yeah. You like it gotta, real gotta. Yeah, you like it gotta. It's got a bitch, yeah. It's got a bitch, yeah. You like it gotta. You like it gotta. I'ma ride with him, I'm on the side with him. You can't tell me nothing about this man. Ain't never had to lie to him, no. I miss jelly to his peanut butter. Got me, he don't need another. Got his back like I'm his mother. Yeah. Like Bonnie and Clyde, it was destiny. I take a chance with you. Stay next to you. They arrest you, I'm coming through. I hear you calling, I'm coming through. Yeah. Holding down your pussy, holding down your pistol. If they shoot, I shoot and aim to kill. Clutch to steal, so you know it's real. Give him something he can feel. He hungry, I'ma cook his meal. Tired, I'ma rub and feel. Yeah. It's got a bitch, yeah. It's got a bitch, yeah. You like it gotta, real gotta. Yeah, you like it gotta. It's got a bitch, yeah. It's got a bitch, yeah. You like it gotta. You like it gotta.
Check it, that's my gutter, baby. Fucking man, you such a fucking lady. Long stroker, Come in her butt, she be bustin' crazy, love and hate it. She tucked to work when them suckers raided. Posted bond the same day, yeah, my gutter paid it, that gutter love. Disrespectful, quick to knuckle up, she drunk as fuck. Text wars, next we cut her up. She love the fuzz, to shut her up. Her jewels flooded up, her tummy tucked. A couple bucks to get that bubble butt. Toxic shit, she had boss fitted on them boxing mitts. Her mouth is slick, popping off, she just might sock a bitch. I must admit, I'm loving it. Minus the sucker shit, it's X and O's. Hugs and kisses for my gutter bitch. Tell her.
It's gutter bitch, yeah. Gutter, it's gutter bitch, yeah. You like it gutter, real gutter. Yeah, you like it gutter, gutter. It's gutter bitch, yeah. Gutter, it's gutter bitch, yeah. You like it gutter. You like it gutter.
All right, y'all, man. That was Ohio's own Shar Christine. So shouts out to her, man. Had a phenomenal interview with her this past Friday. And hopefully we have her on Off Top Radio soon. I said, you know what? You need to come through. So, man, we're going to get into the pros and cons of the internet. So I'm going to start with a pro. And then a con, and then I'm going to pass it over to you. And we just going to go back and forth. So one of the pros to me of the internet is that it allows us to connect to people from all over the world, not just, in the States, but we could connect to somebody as far as like China. We'll never see them, but actually with the internet, it does allow us to connect and see. So I think that's pretty good. A con would be, with somebody having access to you, you don't know who it is that got access to you and what their intent is. Meaning that if they want to scan your information, they want to go ahead and get that credit card, they can do it.
That is absolutely true. That is true. You're right.
So I'm afraid of that, because I like online shopping. I ain't gonna lie. I love, but you just don't know who you giving your information out to.
No, you don't. I mean, it's the same when you used to go get a job back in the day. You know how many jobs that turned you down had your social security number to this day? When we had to do what we call paper applications, you always had to put your social security number down and your address. So think about all the jobs that we have worked that has our information. And think about all the jobs that we never got that still has our information. Maybe your old address, but it still got your social security number.
And that makes me wonder, how do they handle that information? Do they just throw it out in the back of a trash can? That's scary.
Hey, it is. It is. So now when people's like, "Oh, protect your social security number, people can get your information." I'm like, do you know how many people has gotten my information over the last 40 years? Do you know how many times my mom has taken me to doctors and this and that, and she had to put down my social security number? So if somebody's gonna take my social security number and hack me, they would have done it a long time ago. My social security number is everywhere. I've been to dentists, doctors, played football, everywhere you go, you gotta use your social security number. I've applied for jobs, applied for credit cards. Hell, even my T-Mobile account, I had to use my social security number. So I don't even worry about it no more.
For a phone? You had to use it for it to get a phone?
Yeah, when you sign up for T-Mobile, they got all that, yeah.
That's scary. At least in the last, maybe say, I don't know if it's quite a decade, where they have the last four parts of it instead of the whole thing. But hell, giving out any part of that is still scary.
Yeah, because sometimes you call T-Mobile or any of these places, Sprint, and you don't have your PIN number or your password. They're just like, well, what's the last four of your social? Because they already have it.
Right.
Once you give them the last four, it brings up the account. Yeah. So anything you do to open a checking account, think about all the banks that you've opened checking accounts with that you no longer with, or the bank went out of business, you gave them your social security number. So, it's like, I don't know, you can't protect your social security number. Since you came into this world, your parents or grandparents have been using your social security to get you from point A to point B. And then when you was old enough, they passed it on to you, and you've been using it to get from point A to point B. So your social security number is everywhere.
Right.
And you can't go back and get it.
And that means that anybody and everybody got access to it.
Right. So, like I said, the pros and cons to, I was saying to the internet, the pros is, I remember back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, it took forever for things to get to Tennessee. I don't know about Ohio. You have to explain it to me. So if there was a dance that happened in California, the b-boy dancing, hip-hop, whatever, it took 6 months to get to Tennessee. And when it got to Tennessee, we're like, yeah, we doing this new dance. Like, dude, that was in California 6 months ago. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, if there's a new dance, it's seconds, minutes before you find out about it. Anything cool that happened on the West Coast, it took every bit of 6 months to get to Tennessee. It just did. We was always behind, or New York, we was always behind because it took forever to get here. It wasn't instant. How was it like that in Ohio?
Yeah, it's the same way. You wouldn't hear about it unless a kid was coming to visit and they showed another kid, and then that's how things went viral.
That's how it is.
Right? Or if we seen it on a music video.
Or music,
you would have that, but I tell you something else that took long to travel. Fashion.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sure did. You're right. It took a while to travel.
By the time you got it, you thought you was out there cool, and they like, man, take that old shit off.
You was absolutely correct. And that was just, to me, one of the pros of it. Now, the cons of the internet is you will become a celebrity that you didn't know that you was. Because I remember talking to girls back in the day, and New Kids on the Block was just popular. They had the teen magazines, and I love this guy, I love that guy. And in it would tell you how, his height, his weight, where he was from, what he likes to eat, drink, go. I was like, this is dangerous. Even at a young age, I'm 7, 8 years old, like, this is dangerous. You're telling a bunch of millions and millions of people about yourself, but you don't know nothing about us. But we know everything about you. You see what I'm saying? So this is why a lot of these folks had to keep bodyguards, because these girls are reading this stuff. Then they think they know this person. You don't know this person. You know of them from the magazine. So the cons of the internet is like what me and you're doing. We might be something to somebody that we don't know. See, they're hearing about me and you, what you like, what I like, what we do, how we do businesses, but we don't know what they do. So when they meet us, they're going to come to us like they've been knowing us all of our lives. Right. And so to me, that's the con of the internet sometimes. You become a celebrity that you weren't even trying to become. At least New Kids on the Block knew what they was going to become. Michael Jackson knew what he was going to become. Me and you, we're just trying to help people. So we might be stars somewhere that we don't even know.
The piggyback off of what you just said, that's really deep. Imagine people that put pictures of their kids on the internet with all these pedophiles, and you don't know who is taking the attraction to your child.
That's right.
You're putting them on there and you're being innocent about it, but then somebody else on the other end, because like you just said, you don't know who on the other end of that laptop or phone or whatever, and looking at your kid in that manner. And you could be simply trying to share a moment, but to them it's sexual.
And I don't get it, because my kids was coming up in the late 90s, so we didn't have all that. But even if I had a child or a grandchild today, these women are crazy. First day of school, they're taking pictures of their child at the school, standing right there. So I see the name of the school, I see what your child got on, I see what type of backpack they're wearing. So if I do want to come and scoop your child up, what's stopping me from doing it? Because you just posted it online, first day of school at Abbott Elementary, and she's cute with her little pink bows. Like, what are you doing? You making your child out to be some type of celebrity, and the child is one of those schools. Then the child comes up missing, sex trafficking, and then you first person on TV boohooing and crying.
Right. I thought that was an interesting point that you made. Another pro that I think on here has to do with advertising. Like you used to go out and have to pay somebody. Now I think it's just easier to advertise whatever it is you have, right?
Yes.
So that's good. But one of the things I think that's really bad about this is that a lot of people use it to put too much personal information, private information, like relationships. I don't think relationships should ever be on the internet.
Right.
And most of them that is, they don't really work. So, for example, me and my wife, we are not friends on Facebook. We both have Facebook pages, but we aren't friends. So if I talk about her, most people don't even know who I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. But now you get people that just, man, they tell everything about their relationship. And it's almost like they're advertising to somebody else to say, come get it.
Right. Like Rob D said, for some of it, for him, it's therapeutic, to get it off his chest. And I get that, but you're right. The cons of it, you have to be careful, especially if you let's say Anita Ross, right? She has 5,000 friends on her Facebook.
Right.
So she moves a little bit differently. If you got them type of numbers, and then you got 10,000 Instagram, you just have to be careful about what you're doing and what you're saying, because that's what happened to your boy, what's his name, Pop Smoke. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Rapper Pop Smoke. He had put on Instagram where he was at, and somebody recognized it. That's how they was able to go get that boy. He wasn't trying to tell people what it was at. It's just the way it was shot. When they took it and put it on Instagram or whatever, somebody recognized where he was at. So that's why you got to be careful with things like that.
Yeah, and that's
but a pro, like you said, a pro is if you are careful, you can build you a nice little business or side hustle online, because you don't have to go buy a sales agency, a marketing agency, an advertising agency. You don't have to go try to pay Comcast hundreds of thousands of dollars for a 30-second spot. If you know what you're doing to get you a team together, you can do this on a small budget.
Right.
Yeah.
And to add to it, something else. Whatever we do on the internet, it doesn't go away. So if you're 21 and you been ran through, you didn't did OnlyFans, or you didn't did anything sexual or anything, and it hit the internet, that is on there forever.
Right.
Not for your kids to see, for your grandkids to see, for your great-great-grandkids. Imagine them watching great-granny man busted open. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Taking the pound time. You don't want to see your mama or your grandmama in that kind of situation.
That's true. That is absolutely true. And at 21, they're not thinking about it. At 21, you think it's cool, but at 51, when you want to go get that nice government job, and they research you, because man, when you talk about government jobs or state jobs, they're going to research you deeply. And they pull that up, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. They don't care that you was 21 back then. It's a no-no.
Right. And so I just think people especially like females, don't really be thinking about that. Imagine your son pull up, because boys, we like men get on the internet to watch men or flicks and whatnot. And here it is, man, they turn on something that is you. And they boys on there watching the phone. That's embarrassing, dude.
Watching Stifler's mom.
Yeah, your head going back and forth, and they looking at you like, and then you can't even invite them to your house anymore. And now you worried about it, they trying to hit on your mom.
That's true, or your sister or your auntie. Yeah. You're absolutely correct. Yep. You was right about that. You got but again, a hard head makes a soft ass. So you try to tell folks and they don't want to listen. Folks want to just get everything out there to see what comes back. They want to fish, throw the line out there and see what comes back. And sometimes what comes back to you, you don't want.
Man, because, it'd be a tragedy. You on there talking about, mama, that looked like the back of your head, and your mama's head is You know,
Yep.
and she sit up and go like this. That's embarrassing, man. You don't even want to. You quit. I give up, man. Reset.
There you go. You right about that. So you gotta be careful what you post, what you say, because when it hits the quote unquote cloud, it's there. And anybody that knows how to hack can go get it.
Yeah.
They can go get it and use it against you. Shit, stuff that you thought was buried 20 years ago, they will dig it back up.
That stuff.
So if you know the right way, hopefully, because nothing's perfect. If you know the right way to use this tool to internet, then I suggest you use it. But if you make a mistake or you trying to do it for all the wrong reasons, I guarantee you, and I'm just talking to you young people that's 16 to 30, it's gonna come back and bite you. I promise you it is, because I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
Right.
I've seen people get fired and lose jobs and all this stuff because this came back, because something they had done on Instagram and all this other stuff. Yeah. Whether it was their fault or not, they was in the picture.
Plus, you know what, Sky? I don't know if you recognize this, but I know on my network there's a lot of nurses, right? And
right.
So it is, you know, when you see a nurse off work and she's ratchet, and then this the person taking care of you, you don't really feel confident. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
you drinking all night, and then she got to help you find a rib or, you know, a kidney. And you're like, this drunk bee right here, I don't want her taking care of me. So perception is a lot too.
That is absolutely correct. But here's the thing about your situation. You in a better situation than them some of the guns back in the 70s. Because those doctors were freebasing. They were snorting cocaine from Friday night to Monday morning and then going into the hospital, washing their hands, putting on gloves and doing surgery. You didn't have a clue that the guy that's about to do surgery on you has been doing dope for 3 straight. I ain't been to sleep. Snorting cocaine 3 straight days. And I guess he got the job done. So your nurse might be ratchet and a little tipsy. Those guys back in the day were higher than the Georgia pine.
And think about the pilot. Could you imagine you get a pilot and he on here, he just smoke meth, crack, you know what I'm saying, and everything, and then you see him the next day?
Yep. Because back then, only people that could afford cocaine, especially bricks and powder, were pilots, were politicians, were doctors, you know, people who had that type of money. So you could be on a plane in the 70s on a commercial airplane, and your pilot has been up all night doing cocaine, and you 40,000 feet in the air, but you don't know that. But it was a good chance that you was on one of them planes back in those days. Yeah.
Yep, you're right, man. So what do you think, man? Another pro and a con.
Yeah. So at least now we can catch these people, these ratchet nurses and stuff, and say, hey, she don't need to be working here or there. Back then, unless you went to like Studio 54 or something like that, you didn't know what your lawyer and doctors and nurses were doing on their days off.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you got any other pro and con?
Again, the pro is, and even if you're not even doing business, the pro, because the whole thing about Facebook was to keep up with loved ones across seas or in other states that you couldn't go and see, right? Back then you had AT&T and South Central Bell and all these places, and they had what they call long distance, and you paid extra for it, right?
Right.
Well, then when the internet came out, if you connected your phone to an internet source, you could call long distance for free. Because, you know, back in the day, they had that 10, such, whatever those little companies was. Then you had Vonage. So part of Facebook is, okay, you could call for free, because you could always call for free on Facebook to talk to your loved ones around the world. Then they came out with the video stuff. It's people who's taken that and turned it into... Oh, okay. Shouts out to Indiana. Shouts out John Lewis from Indiana. It's people who's taken it and turned it into a con. Just like Craigslist.
Right.
You know, Craigslist was supposed to be to help people find. It was folks on the back pages of Craigslist that started all that. When we want to do threesomes, I'm into guys and girls, and and the guy who created Craigslist, you should see it. It talks about the guy who created Craigslist didn't know that this was even going on. Had no clue.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the cons just come from people who's taking what's supposed to be a pro and used it for negativity.
Right.
And that's why.
Right.
And it's going to happen. No matter what you do, people are going to find a way to use your platform for negativity. So that's why folks hacks into your Facebook, into your Instagram, into all that stuff. You know, the old folks used to say the road to hell was built with good intentions. Well, a lot of these things were built with good intentions, but when you have folks that need your platform to get to like Al-Qaeda and all these places, then they started using the internet. Drug cartels, they started using the internet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The internet wasn't made for that because the government was using it first before it became a household name. You know, it wasn't meant for that, but it is what it is now.
I'll tell you something that I find that's a real good pro for the internet. The markets, Facebook market. So I can go on and find, if I'm looking for something specific, I can find it and purchase it. And I think that's great. You can look for vehicles on there, all kinds of items. So I think that's really good, a really good pro when it comes to the internet. Something that I think that's a con though, is that, man, freedom of speech is controlled by these social media platforms. And they got too much power in controlling what information get out and what information that they do not want disclosed. And I think that's dangerous.
That is absolutely true. The freedom of speech thing, that could be a whole new show that we talk about. The Facebook market, my friends, whoever's using that, first of all, be careful because one is it's just Craigslist 2.0. People will sell you stuff that don't work, sell you a car with a rebuilt title, or try to rob you. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
We have one here in Lebanon. It's a police station where you can meet people. When I do business with folks like that, can you meet me at this police station? No, that we ain't doing business. I don't care how much.
That's smart to do it like that too.
Yeah, I'm not coming to your house. I'm not meeting you at Kroger's. I'm not meeting you at Walmart. Every police station that I know of has a spot in their parking lot where there's cameras for you to meet up with a stranger, right? And y'all do the deal. If they tell you they can't go, don't do it. Do not do that. Do not do that. Because most things on Marketplace is cash, right? When you buy a car for Marketplace, they don't want no check, they don't want no cash app, they want cash. So I'm selling you, Damo, a car for 10 grand, and I know you coming with 10 grand cash. Oh, it's a high likelihood somebody's gonna rob you. I'm telling you, that transaction ain't even going down. When you get there, the car won't be there. There'll be a pistol and some dudes waiting on you when you get there.
Right.
So that's my thing about Facebook Marketplace. It's cool, but just be careful.
Right. And you know me, if it was me in a situation like that, I would do Venmo or Cash App. I would never come with that much cash. I would actually have that, talk about that and communicate that before I even do a transaction. Well, that's a lot of money for me to be carrying. I don't feel safe carrying it. How you want to do this? Do you got Venmo? Do you got Cash App? Do you got Zelle? How can I get this money to you?
That's right. And if you have 10 grand to buy a car, then just go to a car lot. Don't buy it from somebody with their car sitting in the damn driveway. Hell, they still might got drugs and dead bodies, blood in the damn car. Then you get pulled over. So just go to a car lot. They sell cars for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. They will take your check, cashier's check, PayPal, credit card, where it's a legal transaction. Don't meet strangers from Craigslist. You remember they had the Craigslist killer? You remember that?
Oh yeah. You know what? And I don't understand why people just won't go and meet at banks. Well, meet at the bank and do it.
Yeah.
You rob me in the bank, you real bold.
Yeah, and then some people's real bold too, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about those robberies that's going on at the Tanger outlet out there in Antioch? Did you see that on the news? They just opened that mall. They just opened that mall out there by the old Hickory Hollow Mall, right off of Bell Road.
And they're
and they soon as they
smashing
open up,
grass.
they're trying to rob all them places. You should have seen it on TV. They were running out them stores with everything they could get. All you saw was elbows and buttholes running about them stores.
Man, let me tell you, I wouldn't be shocked. Antioch is a whole different vibe. I try to stay up out of Antioch. Man, it's like going to Beirut, you know, or the middle of Pakistan, or, you know, the Antioch is a whole different vibe. I worked out there, and it was in the middle of the night. These dudes was doing donuts and, you know, and SRTs and stuff like that. And I'm like, there was no cops. I mean, and they did it for a good 15, 20 minutes and not a cop in sight to stop them. They stopped when they felt like stopping. And so I try not to go out to Antioch, man. The Antioch, man, is heathen nation. Y'all can have Antioch. If I got to move to Antioch, I'd rather move out of Nashville. I'm sorry. Y'all keep that.
Well, it used to be, you know, you can move to Laverne, Smyrna, but hell, they didn't kick the crime up to Laverne to Smyrna. It was so many people from Memphis going to TSU that hell, they started moving them down to MTSU. So that crime that was going on in TSU between 2008 and 2013, now it started getting down to MTSU. I remember one time there was a guy on campus while I was in school running around with a gun. They wouldn't even let us out the classrooms. CNN, everybody was out there. The helicopters, everybody was out there looking for this man.
You know what? That's why I don't carry cash. You know, I learned, and thank God for the homeless people. I don't carry cash. You know, and the reason being, because I would come off the ramp, as soon as you sitting there, you just looking, and then it's this homeless person knocking on your window, you got $1, and then you think about all the stuff you had to do at work to get that $1, and you want to be generous, but you're just like, man, you sitting out here holding a sign. If you can stand out here for this many hours to hold a sign, you can go work and apply at my job. So I just quit carrying cash. If you rob me, you're going to have to rob me for that. And I'll give you that credit card, but then you ain't going to have the PIN number. I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to say, oh, yeah, the PIN is 0011. You know?
Right.
'Cause I ain't going.
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't really like carrying cash, but sometimes I might carry $20 on me or something. You know, who knows? You might be at a place where you see something and they
I've been somebody 20, Scott. If they want to rob me for that measly $20 in my life, you can have that 20.
But you still work hard for that 22.
Yeah, but you know, man, my life is worth. I'm sitting there, you know, it's levels to it. And you ain't killing me for damn $20. Here you go, brother. Go drink, smoke with it, whatever you need to do.
Right.
I just don't want to get robbed for no 10,000.
Well, you know what? You probably would never, because most people don't think like that. The only way people would know you had 6,000 if they was around you. So when you get robbed for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, it's from your homies, or people that know that you got it like that, because you've been in the club throwing money around, or every time they see you, when you want to go pay for a pack of gum, you pull it out $15,000 to pull out that $2 to pay. Then that's when you get robbed. The average enemy don't know you from a distance. They don't know how much cash you carry. So when you get robbed from places like that, it's because of somebody close to you who knows you got it and where you got it stashed.
Right. You right, man.
Yeah, because on the days that I don't have to dress up, man, I go to the store looking dusted and disgusted. I mean, when Walmart used to be open 24 hours, I used to go 2, 3 in the morning in pajama clothes to go shopping. I didn't give nobody a reason to think that I had money whatsoever. If I had to go somewhere business-wise, I dressed up business, had my jewelry, whatever. But on a normal day, shit, I look like a homeless guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you didn't know whether I had money or not. Like, if you robbed me, like, say, you just be practicing.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
When did that? They used to be 24/7. When did they shut that down? Was it COVID?
When?
When Walmart, for example, was 24/7.
Was it? I might have been before COVID, because I remember once I moved to Wilson County, they wasn't 24 anymore.
Gotcha.
When I was in Murfreesboro, they were 24, but so it might have been before COVID when Walmart decided to quit doing 24 hours, because they were stealing, robbing. Only place that really still does it, that's still gangster with it, is Waffle House. You remember like 10 years ago, they was going up and down Charlotte robbing all those Waffle Houses?
Yeah.
robbing all those gas stations. Then they had to start putting security in Waffle Houses. I remember you go to Waffle House, there was no security guard. Now you go in there, there's one in there. I remember when Crystals was 24 hours. So all these people with these ill intentions is what causes hurt folks like me and you.
Right. Because, they just robbed a domino over my way. Not even 3 weeks ago. The delivery driver was in the back, and I don't know if the door was open or if he just kind of rushed them in. But
Right.
So it's bad. You see a lot more of it with inflation. Stuff so high here, man, they'll rob you. Watch you get gas, then rob you of the gas you just got.
Yep, they sure will. They sure will. You is absolutely correct about that. You is correct. I mean, you really ain't safe nowhere, man. But I just pray that every day that you walk out that door, you make it back to your family. Because it's some crazy folks out here.
Right.
It really is. And sometimes, again, it's the internet. You would go a certain place 6-7 years ago and nobody would even be thinking about you. But now, since you're on the internet, you're doing all of this stuff, you don't know who's looking at you because they've seen you on this show or all the other shows that you've done.
Right. So, it's a scary thing, man.
It is.
This time went by super fast.
Every Tuesday is like that, man. And I'm so proud of you, man, for expanding your shows, for interviewing all these other people, man, and giving them a platform to get out there. Because there's so many gatekeepers in this business, man. They don't want to see you succeed. You see what I'm saying? And when somebody like you come along and say, man, here, I'm going to extend the olive branch. I'm going to grab your hand and I'm going to help you get up, man. That is, like I said, I'm a fan of success. So I am so glad that you're taking your success helping others. I watched that whole 17-minute Big Rob, because the video you showed up, I had already seen it, but I watched it anyway. So, shouts out to you, Big Rob, or Big Boss, what you calling yourself, because, he shouted me out a couple of times. So I'm glad he's doing well.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, man. Since I started that, because I get to meet people from all over the country and eventually the world, get to hear their stories, especially, man, when they talk about how they got started and what inspired them to do music. But then it gives them a platform that a lot of other people they can't go and do elsewhere. And so this is a whole different machine and I don't want to spill too much because we got a lot of things in the works. But, anybody that want to promote anything, my door is wide open. And Sky, you do the same thing. You're trying to connect businesses and whatnot.
Yep. And that's why mine is called CEO Cartel. A cartel means a bunch of people keeping together. That's what most cartels are, whether they good or bad. And they're helping each other. So even you're a part of the CEO Cartel because you're a CEO, you have a business, and we're connecting. That's what we're doing. And helping those that want to be helped. Because I remember one of the things that used to piss me off, Damo, was every time somebody wanted to help you, they kept charging you. Now I'm on that side. I understand because you can't help everybody. Everybody don't want to be helped. And as a businessman, your time is precious. So why would you help Sky Black if I'm full of what, right? So that's why you charge people $600-$700, because those that put money in the game, they're listening. They have interest in it. So now I understand why these people charge to tutor and to mentor, because sometimes people will waste your time.
You're right. And I know with this, I don't really want to do either or. I don't really want to tour or mentor them. It's just a platform for them to promote and to be seen. There's so many for major artists, but there's not really for indie artists.
Thank you.
So, and that's what I want to create, man. And it's been a man. I have like today's interview, I was tired. Y'all, I was on 2 hours of sleep. But I'm telling you, man, that was so fun to do that. And then afterward, of course, I went to sleep like the Simpsons' dad. How he just and then he fall asleep. I mean, it wasn't that, but I got 3 shows today actually. So I had to interview this podcast, and then I have a financial advisor coming on, and I'm just going to give the platform to him. I may ask him a question here or there, but I'm gonna let him go ahead and run it. So we get information because we don't in the Black community we don't talk about our minority community. Let me quit saying it. Ain't just about color. It's the minority community all together. We don't talk about finances, savings, IRAs, Roth accounts, any of that. So I want to bring people on to kind of do that. They help.
And you will, and you will be blessed for helping those people out, because they won't forget about you when they make it to the next level. Because wherever they're going to go, they're going to tell folks about you. Hey, I got here because of him. Go talk to him. And that's how my radio show grew when I was still doing it.
Right.
They finally came out with a rule that said alumni couldn't do radio no more. And I'm so glad because now I have my own. I don't have to listen to their rules. But I just think my show had gotten so big that they couldn't control it. And that's why they let me go. So what? Fine. I ain't got to worry about you or your rules, because all I was doing was just helping people. They was playing the same radio music that 101 was playing, 92Q, 95.5. I started that playing nothing but local artists, and then it just took off from there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there's more artists that are unknown than known. So my pool of music and artists and interviews was a hell of a lot bigger than theirs, because they pulling from the same people that folks have seen every day, listen to 100 times a week. I'm pulling from people that you've never heard of. And then if you got to get to know them, you got to go through me, the middleman, to get to know them. Like, I can't tell how many people called up there listening, want to Rob D's Where's My Dope, because he had the clean version of it. I was like, well, here's his Facebook, here's his Instagram, go talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's smart, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to become. Bakachi, man, it was an interesting interview I had with him. But he was talking about, man, you can actually become the directory to connect a lot of people. And I was like, that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be.
Yeah. What is your calling? And if that's your calling, then please go do it. Go help others with it. The same, because now somewhat radio is becoming, it's still popular, but to me it's archaic. So if I can connect something that's archaic like radio to podcasting, now you're there. So we're podcasting and we're adding the radios and streaming to it. There you go.
Right. You're right, man.
Because a lot of these artists don't have time to podcast and they ain't gonna interview themselves. They're too busy trying to create music. Artists, that's what they're supposed to be doing, is creating music. Songwriters writing music. Track writers or producers produce the music. You ain't got time to wear all these hats. So that's where me and you come in to take care of that other stuff.
Right. And while we on the subject matter, female artists, I am looking for a female artist too. I want y'all to get involved because I got something special that I'm going to talk about on, it's going to be on the YouTube page. Let me go ahead and plug that in. Okay. If you guys are watching, man, I advise y'all to add www.youtube.com/ you see it at the bottom, @SoDrivenMedia. Yes. So if you guys want to keep in tune or updated about what we have going on, please go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Or hit the like button.
Or share. In 30 hot seconds to do all that stuff. That's it. That's all we ask for you to do. That's it.
You got it, Sky. Are you on tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When I get on, I'll tag you and let you know. Yeah.
Okay.
I might not be a live DJ. I might just let the music play, because I don't want to be a live DJ, because I don't always want to take away from the music. I want people to enjoy and listen to the music or whatever. But
because I kind of do the same thing when I record the show. When I'm running and I'm not in studio, I just have it where they can just see the background and go from there.
There you go. Yes, and that's it. That's all you have to do, and let them enjoy and find out the songs that they like. Hit me up. Hey, where can I get this song? Who's the artist of that song? All that good stuff. We have nice viewerships every week. So you just have to be consistent, and that's it.
Well, man, I want to thank you for every week, man, coming on this show, man. You know, man, this has been awesome since we started it. And so I want to thank God for you. Next time we'll talk, it'll be the day after Christmas. Yep. So I hope you have an amazing Christmas. You know, be safe. I hope you too.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some good weather.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, me too. But yeah, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And if I don't get a chance to say it, a Happy New Year. 2024 is around the corner. You know, I hope God blesses everybody. I hope God blesses you and your family, everybody that's watching, you know. But hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. If you live to see 2023, that's the blessing right there.
You got it, my man. Man, thank you guys for tuning in. Peace. We out, man. We love y'all. Tune in to us next time. Make sure y'all listen tonight to www.offtop radio, okay? I think that runs from either 6 to 8 or 7 to 9. All right, peace.